Welcome everyone to another Sergeant Sentinel Gaming live stream. I'm SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel, and thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. I greatly appreciate it. Now, if this is your first time checking out my channel, definitely subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you do enjoy this live stream, and obviously if you have something to say, let me know in the chat. I greatly appreciate it. It's absolutely amazing that it's been 11 years since we got our last Grand Theft Auto game, GTA 5. Now, obviously, some people are going to be a fan of GTA Online, and they'll say, well, we had tons of content, come out since then, but I want to stress that content for GTA Online doesn't really excuse the fact that Rockstar Games got tremendously lazy because they saw how much money it was making them, and they actually canceled, and it's out there and it's been confirmed by multiple gaming sites that they actually canceled single player DLCs instead to focus on the online component of this game. And for people who may not know what DLCs are, downloadable content, of course, you hear it all the time. But as far as Grand Theft Auto goes, with past games, their DLCs were essentially standalone experiences. Now, you look at the past game in the series, Grand Theft Auto 4, it had two DLCs, The Ballad of Gay Tony, which centered around Gay Tony and his henchman, Luis Lopez, where you play as Luis Lopez as he's trying to basically help, Tony avoid getting killed by the mob, essentially. And in the other one, The Lost and Damned, you play as Johnny, I think his name is Johnny Klevitz, and what you do is basically you have to manage the motorcycle gang as it's in a war with the other motorcycle gang, like the Angels of Death, I believe is what they're called. And of course, the leader that's clashing with you is he's basically a traitor, and he's a snitch. And so that's what that game is about. But those two games were standalone single-player experiences, and because of that, people loved them. But GTA 5 didn't have that. It went all with the online experience, and that was unfortunate.
Hey, you! Buddy! Can you do us a massive favor? It's the little lady's birthday, and we are really fucked up. Can you drive us back to our motel? Our car's right there. Come on, man. You can use our car.
But of course. You two are a hot mess. I love it.
You're a legend, bro. We'll get in the back, out of your way. Baby, don't breathe whiskey on the nice man.
So where can I take you two blacked out young lovelies?
We're staying at the Hotel Southwest from here. Thank you so much.
Now, the interesting thing about some of these characters that Trevor comes across is that you don't have to take them to their destination. You can actually take them to some crazies up in the hills who basically, they give you money for this. And the writing is pretty much on the wall, what they do with these people. But the fact that the game gives you the choice is actually pretty cool. There's things in GTA 5 that are cool. There's things that they could have improved upon, but they were probably really stressed as far as time went, and they needed to get this out the door, which of course they did for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 11 years ago.
Let the wolf see the rabbit.
You smell like cigarette and buffalo wings. It's making me so horny.
Come on. Give me a slice of that giblet pie.
Hey, what are you crazy kids doing back there? I tell you what, while you're sweeping the front porch, why don't I work on her back plumbing?
Huh? What did you say?
How about I suck those kidney stones right out of your balls, big guy? Get this party really started.
Wow. Wow, okay, man. It's cool. It's cool. Stop.
They expanded upon random encounters that you'd see in GTA 4 with GTA 5. Now, some of these are like this, where you could just drop them off at one location or another.
I know, I don't recognize
Others
anything.
are
We never made it
basically,
back
it'll
there.
be kind of like mission givers, like the two guys who are civilian border patrol or whatever the hell they call themselves. And it's kind of cool, but I don't think they really expanded on this enough. That's not saying they did a bad job. I just think they could have done a better job with some of these being more tied into the overall story rather than just being completely random and not having much to do with it. But again, you know, with as big as GTA 5 is, I think they really wanted the scope of the game to just blow everyone away. And while the game is tremendously huge, out in, I think it's called Blaine County, there's just not much to do, you know. It's nowhere near as impressive in 2013 as San Andreas was when it came out 9 years earlier in 2004. And that's not saying that, again, that's not saying that it's a bad game. It's just, I think it's not as good as it could have been, you know. Especially coming, and that's, you know, that's coming from a big-time GTA fan. When this game released, again, I was pretty impressed with it, but again, you know, I've been playing all of the Grand Theft Auto games since GTA 3 came out in 2001, and I bought all of them day one when I could. I don't think I bought GTA 3 day one just because I didn't have a PlayStation 2 until I got out of basic training. But, you know, and it's like I went to basic training from January of 2002 through April of 2002, and then I went to airborne school for 3 weeks. After that, I bought a PlayStation 2, and I bought GTA 3. And every time after work and on the weekends, I would be playing it. Even when I was overseas, I would be playing it. But all the other games, I pretty much bought them day one. So it's like I'm a huge fan of the franchise, of the series. And, you know, it's like, at one point I actually considered almost making nothing but GTA content. You know, live streaming, videos, podcasts. But I just felt like there were better channels out there that already cover it. And I said, you know, I'm not going to try to become one of these Rockstar only, you know, content creators, especially since I don't really dig GTA Online. I have played it a number of times. I've played it on the Xbox One, the PS3, the PS4, and it just never really resonated with me. And it's great that people like it and enjoy it. But I think for those of us that prefer single-player content, Rockstar Games just kind of dropped the ball. And it, you know, from what we're seeing, they purposely dropped the ball, and that's unfortunate.
I heard you're interested in taking care of some lost travelers for a price.
And so it is. And so it is. Leave the body, take the gold. Come on. Move. Move.
Apologies, I had to take a phone call, and it was a little lengthy, so I did have to pause the broadcast. I do apologize for that, though. The one thing that has me really hopeful for the future of the franchise is that there has been a lot of, there's been a lot of rumors. And I know everyone's like, well, don't believe rumors. And it's like, well, you know what? A lot of what was rumored, we saw in the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer anyway. So at this point, especially since Rockstar Games isn't saying shit, they're going completely radio silent on like 95% of this stuff. So at this point, rumors is really all we have. And especially when you have criminal elements, like in real life criminal elements like hackers, basically breaking into their databases and leaking shit that Rockstar Games should be announcing, but they're not because they're assholes right now. It's like you have to give at least some acknowledgement to these rumors. One of the rumors I heard is that Rockstar Games wants the GTA 6 map to kind of be evolving, similar to how the Fortnite map evolves. And I think that would be interesting. I don't know how they would do that, especially with the single player. Because the last company that comes to mind where they said, hey, you know what? You'll be able to change the single player map to a point, because of our advanced technology, was Xbox, of course, talking about Crackdown 3, where they said, in the single player campaign, you can take out buildings and this and that, and it turned out to be complete bullshit. I'm hopeful that Rockstar Games can do this. Now, I don't think it's something that's going to be available at launch. I think the evolving of their map is going to be something that probably happens over time. And I think the reason for that is so that they can share with gamers new areas like the Florida Keys, or like maybe an area that's in Central or South America for whatever jobs that may be tied to DLC. Now, do I think Rockstar Games will keep making online-only content and neglect the single player? No. I don't think that. And the reason why I don't think that is because they basically said GTA 6 is costing them $2 billion, all things considered. And they want to make that money back. And they realize that, yeah, sure, you can make a ton of money with the online community, but the single-player community has been very vocal. They've been very vocal about wanting these single-player DLCs. And Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive, they have to see all this online backlash over it. And it's kind of like this. It's like, no matter what Rockstar Games does, people are still going to buy Grand Theft Auto 6, no matter how much you hate Rockstar Games, no matter how much you hate their executives and Take-Two, and no matter how much you say they're a slimy organization. They're in a very interesting position right now where no matter how much people hate them, the people will still buy their content. And people are basically saying, hey, we want single-player content, And Rockstar, it's not like Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive doesn't have the money to even open a brand new studio with 2,000 devs, because they do, It's like from Grand Theft Auto 5 and the online component combined, they made over $6 billion in the past 11 years. That's insane. That's an insane amount of money. And I don't think they're going to have to hire, 2,000 more developers, but I do think that if they focus on single-player content, like they have a group of developers where they're like, your only job is to get these single-player DLCs running and get them good to go and get them out the door. And then the other ones are like, hey, you're focusing on the online side. You're pleasing everybody, essentially. The single-player crowd, even if they're only getting 2 or 3 DLCs and the online crowd is getting 20 or 30, the single-player crowd is still happy because those single-player DLCs, the majority of people that enjoy Grand Theft Auto are going to play them over and over again. With Grand Theft Auto 4, I've completed the main campaign 50, 100, maybe 200 times over the past 15 years. And the single-player DLCs, I haven't played it as much, but I have completed each one of them multiple times. And that, again, that stresses to the fact that even though it may not have the level of engagement that the main campaign does, people are absolutely going to enjoy it, and they're going to buy it. You know, it's like I bought Episodes of Liberty City is what the 2 DLCs bundled together are called. And like I said, the 2 DLCs, The Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost and Damned, they were for GTA 4, and that was back at a time when Rockstar Games was a little different. But the bundle of them was actually sold as a standalone disc, where you didn't need GTA 4 to play it. And I've bought it on PlayStation 3, I bought it on the Xbox 360, and I still play it regularly, you know. So it's like, if you make these single-player DLCs, even if they're not super spectacular, it's not going to matter, because it's breaking up the monotony of the single-player campaign, because you'll get to a point where you're like, you know what, I want to try something else. And I think people wanting to try something else is why a lot of people kind of dipped their toes into that pond of GTA Online. They wanted to play something else, and GTA Online gave that to them. But for the single-player crowd, they didn't have anything, and they were kind of like, well, what the hell, you know, what about us? And so if they're giving the online component, you know, the love and care they did with GTA 5's online component, and they're making these single-player DLCs, they're going to make more money than they did with GTA 5 and the online component, just because people are going to be like, well, I don't like the online component, but I like single-player DLC, and they're making them again, so hell yeah, I'm going to support it, to show them that I appreciate it, to show them that they need to keep making this type of content, you know? So Rockstar Games is in a very good position, but they have to... I honestly think that they're going to listen to the fans and make that single-player content, but there is a chance that they could say, you know what, those times are past, and we're focused only on the online component, which I hope is not the case. Hopefully they're listening to everybody and all their criticism.
You sure as shit are one dumb, ignorant, white trash hillbilly, Wallace.
You're damn right!
Chang, spreadsheet. Let's head outside and talk terms.
来了来了，快点！
Gentlemen, I think I have proved that my organization can handle weight. And I think I've proved that my organization is a reliable supplier. In short, it's you and me. Now give me some of that goddamn X.
I'm afraid we want to go down a different path.
What?
We want to explore other opportunities.
坏家伙，坏死了！要不要我帮你放松一下
The fuck up!
Our boss, Mr. Cheng's father, wants something a little larger. We want to move drugs, perhaps guns.
This is my life's work. I mean, since I was a little kid, I dreamt big. You know, I've always wanted to be an international drug dealer and a weapons trader. All right, so I'm begging you. Let's make this happen.
I'm very sorry.
You're sorry? You're fucking sorry? I just spilled my fucking guts out to you, and you say to me, you're sorry. Who are you working with? Who?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, no, you're at fucking liberty. In fact, I'd say you are obliged. Who? Fucking who?
The O'Neill brothers.
The O'Neill brothers, huh?
Yeah.
You shitting me?
No.
Cause those fucking O'Neill brothers, I hear a little birdie telling me that they have a bit of a problem, since one of them's gonna have to be surgically removed from the skull of the other. Fuck you guys, and fuck them!
hold on.
This music's all fucking wrong! That's what I'm looking for!
Sorry about that. Got a text from the missus talking about something she's looking for in Lowe's or Menards, one of those places. I had to give her specific guidance about it.
Trevor Phillips.
Elwood O'Neill! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Trevor, it's business.
That wide-eyed idiot was mine!
It's business, fella. You want to discuss it? We're at the farm. Ernie, Earl, Walton, Wynn, Dale, Doyle, Darrell, Dan, all of us.
Start writing those names on tombstones, cause I'm on the way to your lab and we're gonna see how much of a family meth business you got when I'm done! All of you are going to die!
Kind of a missed opportunity. Obviously, the O'Neill brothers, if they have that many out there working and they're selling meth, then they gotta have money. I don't know why it wouldn't let you steal whatever money they got, because they're obviously not keeping it in a bank.
Shit for brains!
I just spoke to that maniac Trevor. He's coming. Get down to the meth lab to protect it. I hope he don't get through these idiots, but we know they're idiots. Come on, let's go see them Chinese fellas.
Oh, how many brothers you got, you inbred freaks. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll kill the lot of you, and I'll torch your cookhouse. Whoever's here to kill ya! I'm coming for you. Let's see if we can cut you down to size. You asshole!
You motherfucker!
That was a little difficult because I go to shoot the one guy off in the distance and Trevor's reloading the rifle and I was like, what the hell?
It's over! You want to see competition in the marketplace? Get your own fucking business! Fucking O'Neill!
Are you trying to get shot? You're mine now.
How about a merger, you prick?
Ah, you're dead! Crazy asshole! Get up!
Take overtime!
We got a man down! You bleeding asshole!
Let's see if we can cut you down to size.
You go down! He's in the lamb!
Don't come any closer, all right?
Well, look at this. See what's left when I'm done. I'm gonna burn it to the ground. Everything you built, see how it feels? Burn, you disrespectful pricks! Can I get a cab ASAP?
No problem. I'll have one there in a couple of minutes.
Good work.
So, where do you want to go?
Sandy Shores.
I'll get you there fast, buddy. This job wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for all the shitty drivers in Los Santos.
Pick up the pace, buddy.
You bet. Here we go. Hey, we're here.
Thank you to everyone who is watching this live stream. I do greatly appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, be sure that you subscribe because I do regularly post some type of content, whether it's live stream, whether it's game reviews, game news, something. I try to keep content on my channel regularly. So like I said, if you're not already subscribed, definitely do so. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button. Also be sure to share that. Excuse me, share this out on social media. I do greatly appreciate it.
back here. You're not even hidden. Have you got it?
I've been trying, Trevor. I've been trying.
Come on over here, all right? I ain't gonna hit you.
I've been trying.
I know, I know.
I thought you said you wasn't gonna hit me.
I thought you said you were gonna find fucking Michael Townley.
There's 2 Michael Townleys living in LS. One is 83, and the other one is at kindergarten. I asked the teacher to put him on the phone just to be safe, but she threatened to call the cops. I ain't no molester, Trevor.
Shut up before I molest you, all right? Now, is there anything else?
I looked through the phone directory. I did find a Michael DeSanta, about the right age, married with 2 kids.
What's his wife's name?
Amanda?
Amanda?
Yeah.
You're a genius, you moron. Come on, come here. Woo! Don't you ever not tell me things I want to know.
Sorry, Trevor.
Run, you little bastard! Get out here! We're going to Los Santos.
Are we?
Not you, me and Wade.
What about me?
You're CEO of Trevor Phillips Enterprises. Find us some business so that we can make some money. And tidy my shit up. Let's go, Wade, come on. I'm driving. You can jerk me off if I get bored. I'm joking. You can suck me off.
Are we gonna stop for ice cream? So we're headed to Los Santos then?
Soon. I gotta make a stop.
Oh, what's the stop? Ice cream? This reminds me of the time I went to a gathering. It's exciting. If we're taking a road trip, we'll, like, need a car, won't we?
Yeah, I'm on it. Where are your people at in Los Santos?
It's just my cousin there, Floyd. He's bunked in with... his girlfriend someplace called Vespucci Beach. So, what's the stop?
Family's important, Wade. Not as important as the man that's employed you, mentored you, and fed you amphetamines this last year, but it's important. We gotta pay this cousin a visit.
I ain't seen him in a while, Trevor.
All the more reason to drop by.
Okay, that might be nice, but where are we stopping on the way? Cause, you know, I'm getting kind of wet over here.
For fuck's sakes! Another chapter of the Lost has descended on this fine town. Looking to more...
Hey, what's up, Dark Praxis? How's it going?
I was thinking me and you could pay our respects.
Trevor, I don't think we'd be welcome there. I mean, wasn't you the one who, well, sent them on their way to begin with?
Grief has a beautiful way of bringing folk together, Wade. Just you wait. And besides...
I mean, Trevor ain't bad, I guess. It's just too bad, you know, you're playing as a meth dealer, and at no time in the game do you actually deal in meth. It's such a wasted opportunity because Trevor could be making tons of money, selling meth, and of course they never give you the option. So it kind of was like one of those what the fuck moments, you know. Definitely getting ready for next week is my birthday. Yay. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it, kind of, I guess. Yeah, I know. I think with the devs, the problem is that they just whoever was writing this shit out wasn't really thinking too much about all the different possibilities. So, you know, there's, Jesus, I could fill up a notebook with all the things I've noticed in GTA 5 that were missed opportunities. And I know people can say, well, they don't have time to put all that shit in. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? They really should have thought about all this stuff beforehand, you know. Thanks, man, I appreciate it.
I got thought you got bombs and that pistol with the thing that makes it quiet on it.
Yeah, I took them. Those are my gifts for these pricks. Wait here. Don't get killed.
Don't be long.
So I'm usually pretty good at this area. Yeah, I know, it took them like 6 or 7 years to actually make this game. You're right, they had a lot of time. And, I mean, shit, this game came out 11 years ago. So the fact that we still don't have GTA 6, I know a lot of people are like, well, it takes some time, and it's like, they had plenty of time to make tons of online content, but they're not going to make, you know, GTA 6? It's like, come on. Ridiculous.
Let's take a ride. See what kind of shape they left this place in.
Brothers, I am on the road.
What do you want? Sister! Get your ass out here! No, we're here to take care of them. Get on out of here before I peck your balls off.
Someone's here who ain't meant to be. Put him.
banging and screaming, but then not the nice kind.
Yeah, it went good, Wade. We don't have to think about the loss no more. Let's go find my old buddy.
This Michael Townley guy must have pissed you off real bad for you to want to find him so much.
He didn't piss me off. The guys that killed him, the federal government, they pissed me off.
But if he's dead, who's this?
Now you're starting to grasp the pertinent questions. Who is this guy using my dead friend's tired-ass movie quotes? With my dead friend's alias? And my dead friend's family? In a house that must have been paid for with my dead friend's stashed millions?
Wow, that's a real mindfuck.
Yeah, I'll show you a fucking mindfuck. I'm gonna stick my boy in your eye. It's gonna come out of your ear.
Yeah, this campaign is pretty solid. It's still pretty fun, you know, even if I kind of feel like the campaign from GTA 4 is better, but GTA 5 looks a lot better, you know. That's kind of why I was hoping that they would remaster GTA 4, just because it's definitely dated as far as how it looks. At least on consoles. I get PC, it probably looks pretty damn good, but on consoles it looks dated, especially since you can only really play it on Xbox. You can't play it on PlayStation 5 at all because it's a PS3 game, so it's unfortunate. But again, that's kind of why I think they should they really should do like they did with Red Dead Redemption 1 and remaster it for current gen consoles, even if it's technically a PS4 or Xbox One port. I don't really care, you know.
I like stories.
Of course you do. This story's about a boy called Trisha.
Is Trisha a boy's name?
It doesn't.
You know, as much as I like PlayStation, I do have to admit that they make a lot of stupid fucking decisions. You know, I mean, Xbox does anyway. It's kind of like Xbox and PlayStation, they take turns with making stupid decisions. You know, like, they're like, PlayStation is, you know, saying, hey, it's our turn to make stupid decisions, and then the next week Phil Spencer's like, hey, it's my turn to make stupid decisions, and they go back and forth. And some of the decisions they make are good decisions. Other ones are so profoundly stupid, as soon as I see it on Twitter or a gaming news site, it instantly gives me a headache, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just read? That's the way some of this shit is, you know?
That's it. That giant sprawl. Los Santos. Oh!
Yes, I absolutely believe that the mod community could build GTA 4 with the GTA 5 engine much sooner than Rockstar Games could. You know, I tell people this all the time. I said the most talented people regarding video games are not working in the video game industry. They're modders. And they know their shit, but it's like some guy will come home and, you know, he'll be working a 9 to 5 at, you know, at like fucking 7-Eleven or some shit, and he'll come home for 3 hours and fix a problem that Bethesda hasn't been able to fix for 3 fucking months. And it's like, what the fuck? You know? It's like, what the fuck, Bethesda? Proof sometimes that they don't teach you shit in college. What's up, Gogol Poe? Thank you so much for dropping in. I greatly appreciate it.
So, Michael, this is where dead men come back to life. It's been nearly 10 years. But you'll keep for another day or so, huh, old friend? You motherfucking fuck! I grieved for you! You weren't even fucking dead. You were my best friend. Well, guess who's coming to shit on your doorstep, you fuck!
Cousin Floyd don't live here.
One of the things I really miss from gaming is that feeling that the night is so much more dangerous than the day, especially as it pertains to just crime action games, you know. I want games that feel dangerous at night, where you walk down the wrong alleyway and shit, and your character's in a fight for his life. I want that type of craziness, you know.
Right. He could fly planes, this kid. So he signed up.
Yeah, the gaming community a lot of times is so much more talented than the developers that get hired, and I feel like the reason why that is because a lot of these studios dwell too much on education and not enough on actual talent. Now, what I mean by that is they say, hey, you know what, you get a 4-year degree in this and we'll hire you right away, not realizing that the person who taught themselves, who doesn't have that degree but taught themselves how to program, or taught themselves how to work with this particular engine just because it's a hobby, are going to be so much more talented because they're driven and because they look at a problem and they say, hey, you know what, this is something that I want to figure out. You don't get a lot of those people in college, and believe me, I know. I have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and some of the stupidest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life were in college. For those of you that don't know, I'm an independent author, and so my graduate degree was actually for fiction writing because it helped me to write my novel, and I had a whole bunch of other novels that I was planning on working on, but right now those are kind of shelved. But one thing I learned, and you know what, it's ridiculous because you think in a writing program in college that people would be spelling very well and they would be able to articulate themselves and the stuff that they wrote would be phenomenal, and that's just not the case. Like I said, I mean, Jesus, I can't even tell you how many people I came across in college, and I asked myself, I'm like, how the fuck did they possibly get in college? Or how did they get this far in college, like to where they're almost complete with their bachelor's degree or where they're in graduate school? I'm like, how the fuck did they get this far? It makes no sense. It's, you know what, I guess it makes sense with 2024. Because in 2024 there's tons of fucking participation trophies being handed out all over the place, and it's like, don't do that shit. It's like, it's kind of like if you hire a mercenary to protect you when you're going into, a war-torn nation in Africa, and you need a bad motherfucker like a Navy SEAL or a Delta Force or some shit, and what you get is a guy who's like, well, I did 2.5 years as a security guard in Walmart, and you're like, what the fuck, man? But your company's like, well, unfortunately we got to hire him because A, B, and C, we need the position filled and this and that, and it doesn't really matter his experience because he's the criteria we're looking for, and you're like, fuck no, I'm gonna get killed. It's like, you got to treat every situation like that. Hire the motherfuckers that are perfectly qualified for that position, that when you read their resume and you see what they can do, you're like, Jesus Christ, this guy is a stud. Let's pay him a huge fucking bonus, or her, and let's get them in this position right fucking now because they are the best in their field. Hire people like that. Don't hire people that suck at life and the only reason why they're still alive is because it's illegal to kill them. Don't do that shit, because then you're going to have piss poor results, and you see it all over the place. They need to stop doing that shit and hire qualified people that are badass at what they do. That's what they need to do, in gaming especially.
Give me a fucking lighter.
You can't smoke here.
Okay.
This is my girlfriend's place. She's at a business conference. You can't smoke here and you can't stay here.
How's it going, cousin? It's been a while.
Yeah, I ain't seen you since you was caught in Evelyn's bed.
That was never proved.
You gotta go, both of you. My girlfriend, she'd kill me if she knew I had guests.
Well, it's not much of a girlfriend if she don't like your family. Now, would you get me a fucking drink? I'm not gonna ask you again.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait, I ain't got no booze.
Well, then you go out and fucking get me something. You go too.
All right, okay.
Fuck.
The irony is that Trevor, his attitude and how he acts and how he's crazy is almost like you took someone who grew up in the 80s and 90s and you dropped him in 2024 with all the bullshit and participation trophies and all the other garbage. And he's like, what the fuck is this fucking bullshit? And that's why he's pissed off and acting crazy all the time, because you know what? It's like, if I wasn't led up to all this crazy shit that we're seeing in 2024, I definitely would have been like Trevor, fucking breaking windows and shitting in someone's front yard and pissing in alleyways and shit. I would have been doing the same goddamn thing. So I kind of understand why he's crazy when you look at it from a 2024 perspective. And just talking about gaming in general, it's like in past generations, you had these companies that say, hey, you know what? Most of the people that buy our games are guys, and they love guns and explosions and, scantily clad women and all this other shit. And so they're like, let's cater to them. And the game sells 20 million copies, and they're like, fuck yeah. And they're fucking taking swigs of whiskey and smoking cigars and shit in their office. Now they're like, oh, let's make it for a fictional audience to show that we care about everybody. And it's like, no, motherfucker, don't make games. It's like, don't make games. Yeah, exactly. He's exactly like that. You're right about Trevor. He's exactly like that. It's like, don't make games for motherfuckers that aren't going to buy the games. It's kind of like if Burger King made, a fake fucking bacon cheeseburger for people that can't eat pork. And I'm not disrespecting anybody's religion, obviously. If you don't eat pork, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, don't make something that looks like pork and tastes like pork, but isn't pork marketed to them. One, they're going to be pissed off that you're trying to get them to eat fucking fake pork, and two, no one's gonna buy it, because already that shit's, it's like you're already treading on thin ice with that shit, because their culture considers that, completely taboo. So it's like, don't market shit for them, because they're not gonna buy it. The same thing goes with like the modern audience. It's like, yeah, you know what, Go Po, I agree with you. Some of that stuff is like, if it's low key, it's not that bad, but when it's completely out of control, it's like, what the fuck is this shit? What the absolute fuck is this shit? And that's why, it's like, for my birthday, my wife was like, well, what games do you want? What do you want me to pick up for you? You know what I said? I said, even though I own this for the Xbox Series X, she said, do you want the Star Wars Outlaws game? And I said, no, buy me RoboCop Rogue City for the PS5 so I can live stream it. I said, that's what I want. She said, didn't Star Wars Outlaws just come out? And I showed her the comment of the one guy, and he said, you know what, she looks like someone who's what was it? It was something like, she's on parole for heroin addiction, and she's trying, she's standing before the parole board looking like a 70s prostitute from Idaho or some shit. And I laughed my ass off, and my wife's like, oh Jesus, because some people are like, oh, she looks good, and I'm like, bullshit, motherfuckers. Because if you saw this chick, if you guys were single and you saw this chick and she was hitting on you, you'd be like, no, you know what, I just got a call from work, I gotta go. It's like, you wouldn't give her the time of day, because she looks like she fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down, and then was thrown back up to the top of that tree and hit every branch of that fucking ugly tree on the way down again, like 3 or 4 fucking times, like there's an elephant standing underneath it and flipping her up with a trunk. And so she hit the ugly tree, every branch, like 5 or 6 fucking times. And you can say, oh, well, you shouldn't buy a game because of a look or this or that. It's like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that's true, but there's other issues with that game. My point is that rather than make the game as appealing as possible, and the actress from Star Wars Outlaws, everyone's posting pictures of her online, and, they're like, hey, she's an 8, she's a 9, she's 10. Admittedly, she's attractive. The character from Star Wars Outlaws looks nothing like her, and it's fucking hideous in comparison. And it's like, why would you fucking do that? Why would you take a character based on an actor or actress, and, well, actresses in this case, and make them look as horrible as possible? Look at Trevor. Perfect example. Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 looks a hell of a lot like Stephen Ogg. And Michael looks a hell of a lot like his voice actor. And off the top of my head, I don't remember his name. I do follow him on Twitter, but I don't remember his name. And, it's like, if you have a game where you're really making it look as good as possible, but it has some issues, people are still going to stand by it. But if you're making ugly characters just to make fucking ugly characters, You know, especially when you have the voice actor or voice actress and they look tremendous, you know, and then the character looks like dog shit. By comparison, people are going to be like, what the fuck is this? You know, and it seems like some of the games out there that are made by like Asian companies understand this and they lean into this, but you got a lot of Western studios that don't. And it's like, look, it's like, I'm not telling you that you have to make every character like a model or look so much better than they do in real life. But it's like, if you choose a character for the game, or you choose an actor or actress for the game, in this case it's an actress, and she is tremendously attractive, then it's like you have to at least make it somewhat representative of her. Don't downkey that shit. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second, I gotta take a phone call.
Where? The Maze Bank Arena.
Oh, little Tracy being humiliated. Let's go, we go get her. We? Yeah, we. What, are you gonna stand here and argue while your daughter becomes a national laughingstock? Huh? You're worse than I thought. Now let's go, come on! Alright.
You know, I could probably handle this myself. Let's say we grab a beer in a few hours, catch up properly.
I'm good, homie.
She's my daughter, I'll handle it.
Judging by past behavior and the state of the rest of your family, fuck only knows what that means.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, you're a model husband and a wonderful parent. You can just tell.
You walk into my home and try to tell me how to run my life. It don't work like that, amigo. It's nice to see you and all, but you stink like piss, you got blood under your nails, and you look like you've been up for what, a week? Who the fuck are you to tell me anything?
I'm someone who knows you, you fucking slippery snake. I know the second I leave you, you'll just go home. We're gonna get your girl from these assholes. You're not abandoning her like you did me and Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Poor motherfucker must have woke up handcuffed to a hospital gurney after that stunt of yours. He still writes to me from the joint, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how you been doing?
Oh, I'm getting by. Aside from the loneliness and heartbreak, of course.
You live in Los Santos?
A few hours away.
Okay. So where?
Sandy Shores. The LMOC.
Ah, I hear it's nice there.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful. I mean, we ain't got the tennis courts, the golf links, all the pumped-up plastic sluts you're used to out here, but, well, you know, it'll do.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd ask you to stay, but...
Yeah, don't worry, all right? I got somewhere to crash while we work things out. With actual friends.
We got things to work out.
Yes, sirree. So sorry. This has got to be it. The Maze Bank. Let's go in. Here we go. Come on.
You can't park there. Production vehicles only.
You fucking with a Marine, son. I'm not scared of you.
Come on, you dipshit. Ah, that host, man. He's like any closeted TV presenter. Bitter as fucking vinegar.
Where the fuck are they?
Hello, sir. May I please have your names?
Where the fuck is Tracy Townley, huh? Tracy fucking DeSanta. Fuck, screw that! Where the fuck's Laszlo?
It doesn't matter. Please be quiet. They're auditioning right now. You're gonna be just as good then as Ben.
All right. Yeah. That was really good. All right. It's the auditions, Fame or Shame, Season 14, right here in Vinewood, San Andreas. Coming up next, it's Tracy DeSanta. Judges, Tracy DeSanta. Yes.
Hi.
All right. Tracy's a dancer, but she also likes acting, modeling, and working with children. That's beautiful. You're so original, like a basket full of puppies or a rainbow or a pile of puke.
Oh.
Who are these clowns?
That's my Dad and Trevor?
Two dads. Great.
Wow.
Very San Andreas.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Okay, I'm back.
Relax, chill, make yourself at home. He's got a little show to do here.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. All right, it's Fame or Shame for Tracy DeSanta. Music! Yeah. Shake what your daddies gave you, honey. Look at that. I'll stuff a 20 in this.
Oh!
You fucking do something about this?
All right, that's enough. Oh! I said that's enough!
Hey, I got security. Security!
What'd you fucking
Hold
say?
it, come on, big guy. Come on.
No!
Come here, you little shit!
Go home right now, Tracy. I just want to talk to you. They took our ride, we take their truck.
Did you see that new art show
There!
in Mount
We
Bank?
take the truck!
I got a deposit on that truck!
Hey, take a left up here.
How can you sit there and watch your daughter get treated like that?
Hey, you raise a daughter in this town, you get used to stunts.
It's poor parenting.
Yeah, thanks for the fucking feedback. It means a lot coming from you.
No one's getting in the way of the big rig! We'll flatten this dickbag. Fucking Laszlo. I knew he was an asshole.
Just push him off the fucking road! It's only a battery car, come on!
This ain't exactly a racer.
This mission always kind of pisses me off just because you have to drive the truck and you can't really squash Laszlo and kill him because he's such a dirtbag, you know? What's funny though is Laszlo in real life is not like this, you know? He's pretty chill, he's a good guy, but what's funny is this guy that you're chasing right now, Laszlo, is so much like Randy Pitchford in real life, it seems. You know how he's kind of a creepy guy and he does cringe shit. It's like that's 100% how Randy Pitchford is in real life. I'm surprised they didn't, you know, try to get it a little closer to being their version of Randy Pitchford. You know how they spoof some celebrities? Because it's kind of fucked up that they do this to Laszlo, you know?
Can we speed it up a little? Huh?
Maybe by throwing your fat carcass over the side.
Yeah, this truck handles like shit, especially with this trailer. I don't even remember how to release the trailer. It's been so long since I played this mission.
He took a right. Calm it.
Oh boy!
Yeah, you can release it, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, hit all the buttons. That's what I was trying to do. That's why it's changing the radio station and switching the view and all kinds of other shit. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
That cocksucker might be famous, but
Well, now it's released, thank God. But Laszlo's probably gonna get away.
we'll get him. We'll get him.
Well, we're sure taking our time about it.
I definitely should have released it from the start. Yeah, you got away. Damn it. All because of that fucking trailer. That figures.
He's going down into the LS River.
I can see that.
Yeah, I lost him. I don't even remember where he went. Fucking trailer. It pisses me off because stealing this truck is like the stupidest thing you could possibly do. I'd rather steal any other car in the parking lot. Because this truck is so fucking slow and it's so ridiculous. Thank God it starts me without the trailer, because the trailer throws this shit all over the place, you know?
Try to kill this brick, all right?
When we
So fucking ridiculous. It's like, if you're gonna have me chasing Laszlo in a truck, make it that truck from Jeepers Creepers that looks like it came straight out of hell. Have me chasing him in something like that. Not something, you know, that's just a generic truck. It's like, if you're gonna make me chase him in a truck, otherwise let me pick the vehicle, because then I'll run him off the road and, you know, be done with him once and for all. Kind of sad, though, that Laszlo in real life had to leave Rockstar Games, and Leslie Benzies left, the producer, and Dan Houser left, and, you know, it's like that meme where the dog is sitting on the chair and the room's on fire, and he's like, oh, this is fine. It kind of feels like that's a little bit what Rockstar Games is like. I hope I'm wrong, obviously. I am very much looking forward to GTA 6, but it seems like anymore the creativity is just not there like it used to be. It's just, yeah, I agree. Him leaving was a big deal, you know.
I hate that closeted man whore on the TV.
And yeah, everyone's like, well, Sam Houser is still there, and I'm like, yeah, but how much did Sam Houser really have to do with it versus Dan Houser? It appears like Dan Houser was really the brains behind most of it, you know, and it's unfortunate. Oh my god, you know what the modding community needs to do? They need to mod in Randy Pitchford in this scene instead of Laszlo, because like I said, Randy Pitchford is the real life version of this version of Laszlo.
Look, I'm just a dumb A-list celebrity trying to entertain America, okay? I got a lot of stuff going on right now, dude, besides you trying to kill me. Now I got multiple sexual harassment.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point about him getting the feel of American culture, because he said, you know, that he was a fan of so much, like, so many of our different movies that were super popular, especially the gangster mafia genre, and you can see how meticulous he is with so many different things that go into GTA, how it's making fun of American culture, and it's not like it's making fun of American culture where it's pissing everyone off and they're like, fuck you, man, don't make fun of us. It's making fun of American culture because of how ridiculous a lot of this stuff is, and even if you're a little offended by shit in the game, you still laugh about it, and you're like, damn, that's so messed up, but that's so true, you know? I don't know if he was involved in Red Dead. I know that he left in, I want to say he left in maybe 2020, you know? Yeah, you know what, and Dan Houser, it's like he made fun of American culture, but he had a love for the culture, he had that reverence for it, you know? And, I mean, that's just something you don't see, especially anymore. You know, something that has me worried about Grand Theft Auto 6 is that Dan Houser, he gave an interview years ago before he left Rockstar Games, and he said, you know what, he said, with as polarized as the political climate in America is right now, he says we cannot really make a game about it making fun of the current culture because it's going to piss people the fuck off, you know. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what does that, you know, what does that really mean? I mean, because, yeah, it doesn't mean much because they make fun of people in every game. But I point this out. Okay, I point this out. Rockstar was notorious for making fun of people. Everybody accepts this. But there's actually a club here in Los Santos, I think it was called Pictures, where they were making fun of the LGBTQ community, and they put tons of pressure on them, and they got them to change stuff, censor it. I don't remember what the specific deal was, but for you guys that have been following this, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's like, don't censor shit. Damn it, I gotta catch this guy on the bike. It's like, don't censor shit for one community, you know. God damn it, this fucking little shitbox car. It's like, don't censor something because it offends them, but leave everything else. It's like I said, I don't have a problem with them making fun of any particular group I belong to. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I don't remember the specifics, but I know they changed it because they were throwing a fit about it. And it's like, don't do that shit, you know? God damn it, this fucking shitbox car. It's shit in the game and it's shit in real life. Yeah, they make fun of everybody, but for this particular instance, they said, oh, you know what, this little group is offended, and so we're not gonna make fun of them because they face shit in real life, and it's like, fucking stop. It's like, don't do that shit. Because then, it's like, if you're gonna take out the stuff that offends them, then you need to take out the stuff that offends anybody, you know, who... God damn it.
Hey, Lester.
Mike, hey, I'm transferring your cut of the jewel store.
I don't give a shit. Okay, anyways. You know, it's like... Yeah, it's like, they don't have the balls anymore. So it's like, you know what? It's like, you're gonna make fun of the military or whatever. Fine, man. I'm former military. You know, I take it in stride, man. Fuck. You know, you make fun of people in these games. But it's like, don't protect one group from any of that stuff and say, you know, we're just going to take it out because they're offended. They got their panties in a twist. You know, they got a tampon in their fucking ass. It's like, stop with that bullshit. It's like, either make fun of everybody or don't make fun of any motherfucking buddy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't protect some motherfucker. Don't protect some motherfuckers because they're like, oh my god, I'm so offended. Well, motherfucker, don't play Grand Theft Auto. It's like, if I don't like fucking pork chops. So you know what? I don't fucking eat pork chops. It's like, I don't like JRPG games. Guess what? I don't fucking play them. It's simple. Oh, we're offended by Grand Theft. Well, motherfucker, don't play it. Oh, we don't want... I don't give a shit. It's like, I'm not gonna... It's like as if someone's like, I don't like, you know... I don't like Goodfellas. So because, and it offends me, so because it offends me, you don't get to watch it. Fuck you, bitch. It's like, fuck you. I'm not gonna let you tell me, you know, not to watch something or not to enjoy something because you don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy it? Fuck, that sucks, I guess. Don't fucking watch it, don't fucking play it. You know? But it's like, especially for a product like this, everybody expects to be offended. Everybody, you know, in some... You're not going to be offended by everything in the game, but what I'm saying is, like, they'll make fun of conservatives, they'll make fun of liberals, they'll make fun of military, they make fun of handicapped people, all this shit. It's like, don't bubble wrap one specific fucking community because you're like, oh, we don't want to offend them. Who fucking cares? Let them fucking be offended. Bring back 1990 motherfucking 2. I don't give a shit. You know, and it's like, I'm not going out of my way to diss anybody, but it's like, fuck, man, don't protect any motherfucker. Everybody is fair game in a Grand Theft Auto game. Let that shit fucking fly. I don't give a shit. You know, that's exactly how it is. It's like, let everybody be offended at least a little bit. Don't hold back. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. You know, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's player agency is what it is. You know? And they want to say, oh, well, we're not going to let you choose this, or we're going to choose this for you. And it's like, stop that shit. It's like, you guys wonder why the gaming community is so fucking pissed off right now. Oh, they're toxic, they're alt-right, shut the fuck up with that shit. I'm so tired of hearing that shit. It's like, a lot of us, a lot of gamers, and you say anyone who doesn't like this is alt-right. Motherfucker, I'm in the middle. Like, straight up, I'm fucking independent. You know, it's like, you can't say shit, because I voted both ways. You know, in the past, I voted for left, I voted for right, I looked at both sides, and I said, this is fucking bullshit. So it's like, you can't say because I'm criticizing your game, oh, they're alt-right, fuck you. It's like, you don't know what the fuck I am. You know, and it's like, you're just angry that I'm calling you out on your bullshit. It's like if someone burns the fucking food at a restaurant, and they're like, oh, you're saying the food is burnt because you're alt-right. Or because you're there. No, motherfucker, it's because you burned the goddamn food. Yeah, exactly, dog whistle, that's exactly what it is. It's like, don't deflect from the fact that your product sucks, or you screwed it up. Don't deflect from that shit. It's like, admit, you know what, hey, listen, we thought that people would like this, and we fucked it up, so let's try to make it up to you, you know? And you see this with some of the games that launched recently. oh, it's the hateful, it's the toxic, it's this, it's that. You know what? I miss the motherfucking 90s. I miss the goddamn 90s where they tried to entice people to try their products and eat their food. Because it's like, rather than say, it's your fault that you don't like it. No, motherfucker, it's your fault. My money is going to stay in my fucking wallet unless you convince me to open my wallet and give you the fucking money. That's a 90s mentality. Don't blame your fucking customers or potential customers. And if you're pushing a product, like something that someone would consider woke, don't fucking hiss and spit at them. Say, hey, you know what? This is a new type of experience. These are new stories we want to tell. We hope that you'll give it a chance. And if you like it, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And if you don't, that's okay too, because everyone's entitled to their opinion. And if you don't like it, that's okay. At least you tried it, and we do appreciate you for your patronage. That is the attitude they got to go with going forward. You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. You can't push what you like on everybody else, because it's like you'll have the greatest product or the greatest game, or you'll have an idea that is legitimately helping people, and not everyone's going to agree with it. Not everyone's going to like it, and that's okay. You know, back in the 90s, we were like, hey, man, you know what? Agree to disagree. That was our attitude back then. Nowadays, you're like, you know, some of us are like that. But a lot of people are like, if you don't like what I like, and you don't support what I support, and you don't toe the line, you're this, you're that. They'll throw all these terms at you, and it's like, fuck you, guy. Seriously. It's like, I'm not going to be one of the people, oh, God, I'm sorry for offending. Fuck you. You know, like they used to say back in the 90s, fuck you, you motherfucker. That's exactly how it is. It's like, you're not gonna do that bullshit to me.
Hey, Trace, what's up?
What's up? Are you
Yes.
joking?
I
You
guess so,
ruined
yes.
my life.
Shut the fuck up, Tracy. Stop sucking dick. Coño. Fucking bullshit. The biggest problem with Michael's story in this is they don't give you a choice. In my opinion, they should have said, you know what, your wife is a cheating bitch, and your daughter is a little hooker who's working the streets, or she's in, adult vids, and Jimmy is as useless as tits on a stripper. I mean, tits on a snake, sorry. You know, he's useless as tits on a snake, and it's like, kick Tracy out. Kick that fat doughboy motherfucker out. Kick the cheating wife out. Kick him to the fucking curb. And say, you know what? I'm finally living a good life. No one's going to be treating me like shit anymore. That's what Michael DeSantis should have done. He should have kicked all three out and said, get the fuck out. Oh, I'm going to, yeah, there you go. Bring your crew home. That's exactly what I'm saying. Michael, Trevor, and Franklin doing lines of cocaine off the coffee table or off the fucking kitchen table while they're all taking shots of bourbon or tequila. There you go. That's what Michael should have done. He should have been like, bitch, get the fuck out. I'm going to sue you for half. Go the fuck ahead, bitch. Go get yourself a fucking lawyer, get a hotel, get the fuck out. Until then, fucking forget my phone number. Yes, they did. The Michael's thing, oh, I'm so happy, and we can get along. But every single time you see his family, they're treating him like shit. And it's like, Michael, what the fuck, man? Yeah, you know what, and I don't know. You know what, I'm torn though, right? I'm torn because I think Trevor's kind of ridiculous, but in some ways I think Trevor's right. And then I kind of feel like they clipped Franklin too, because what was his name? Sean is his first name. I don't remember his last name. The guy that plays Franklin. He said he wants to go off the wall and be all crazy and shit. I'm like, they should have let that motherfucker just be crazy like he wanted to be, because in the game, Franklin, oh, I don't know about this and I don't know about that, and Lamar's the crazy one. It's like, Jesus Christ, the game would have been a hell of a lot better if both Franklin and Lamar were crazy motherfuckers, wanted to shoot shit up. I mean, fuck it, that would have been crazy. That's Grand Theft Auto right there. Not Franklin, oh, I don't know about this and I don't know about that. I mean, it's like, fuck that, man. Let the Sean dude that played Franklin, let him say that crazy shit. Let him be crazy like that, I think it would have been badass. It would have added to the story, because you're like, legitimately, you got Trevor that's crazy. Now you got Franklin that's crazy. Him and Lamar are gonna roll up on any motherfucker that gives them a sideways glance. And then you got Michael, and Michael's like, you know what? He's like, fuck my cheating wife, fuck my useless ass kids. He's like, let's fucking roll on this town. That's what you needed to have fucking happen. What happened? Oh, Michael's glad that his abusive wife and his bitch-ass fucking kids have come home, and they're always bitching at him and wanting money, and, you know, oh, Franklin thinks he wants to get out of the life. And it's like, damn, two out of three got clipped, you know? And by clipped, I don't mean they got killed. I mean they got their balls clipped. It's like, at least with Trevor, you know, someone tries some crazy shit, he gonna stomp their brains out.
Oh, hello there. How you doing today?
Yeah, Vice City did figure it out. And then, you know what, it's like, I didn't mind the FIB angle in this, but I just felt like, you know, they really could have added more to it. More meaningful content to it. What I mean by that is like this, right? Like, we know the FBI, or the FIB, I'm sorry, is at war with the IAA, aka the CIA, right? We know that they're at war in GTA 5. Why not have them, you know how, and this will probably blow your mind because you've probably never heard this before.
He starts asking questions about why you're not
Lester
south of the Canadian border.
Lester hires Franklin to do the assassination missions to manipulate the stock market, right? So,
We're in it.
this guy, this tubby, fucking washed up guy that works for the FIB, I don't remember what his name is, Davey, whatever the fuck his last name is, Dave Norton. He hires Trevor because he knows Trevor's crazy to hit IAA safe houses and splinter cells throughout the state of San Andreas. And I'm talking like a big ass gunfight, and you know, they got backup and they got helicopters, and there's like 20 or 30 of these. And that's kind of like the little mission. And as you take these on, you know, the police presence in the state ramps up. But once you take out all these splinter cells, the police presence backs off significantly, and they provide some sort of benefit. You know, yeah, and again, I mean, I'm coming up with all this stuff because I'm a writer, you know, so I'm automatically looking at stories that they tell and say, you know what, this is what's good about it, but this is also how you can improve on it. And that was one of the things about the graduate program, is they'll give you a story and they'll be like, what do you think is good about this, but what would you change about it? You know, and so I had to do that a lot, not just with the genre that I wrote in, but other genres as well, which is kind of difficult because I'm not a horror, you know, a horror suspense type of guy, but one of the books I had to go through and analyze was one of those, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah, I guess I am a natural fixer. You know, and like my wife and I, we were watching John Wick 3, and I said, you know what, I said there's probably 100 things I would have changed about it, because John Wick 3 is definitely my least favorite out of the entire series because there's so much wrong with it. But I don't think I'll go into that right now because, you know, I mean, yeah, so you get it, you know. You know what, fuck it, I got time. You know, we got time in this live stream. So, with John Wick 3, right? With John Wick 3, now keep in mind, professional writers have said nothing should be in your story that has no purpose, right? Everything that shows up in your story must have purpose and it must make sense, because then people are going to read your story and say, you know what, that kind of takes me out of the element, or why the hell did this guy do that? Like, basically, if this police officer is clearing this area and he holsters his gun and he smokes a cigarette and he puts a cigarette out on the ground and then picks his gun up and clears the other room, people would say, why would he do that? You know, why would he smoke a cigarette in the middle of a tactical situation? Now, you see that shit all the time in John Wick 3. You know, and that's a big problem. Now, I'm not saying someone smokes a cigarette when they're not supposed to, but I'm using that as an example. So, like this. In John Wick 3, when he's running from guys that are trying to kill him, he stops and he does some gunsmithing on a revolver and only fires one shot. Why? There's basically six, it can hold 6 rounds.
I found the toe tag.
So it's like there's 6 rounds, right? If you're doing gunsmithing and you're wasting time, grab every fucking round for that caliber and fight 20 or 30 or 40 guys that, fight 20 or 30 or 40 guys with that caliber. Don't fire one shot and then drop the pistol and take off, because then the 2 minutes you wasted makes no fucking sense. It's like, why would you do that? Again, that's a wasted scene. I get it that you want to show John Wick knows gunsmithing, and believe me, my time in the army, I know how hard that shit is. It's difficult. But it's like, if you're going to do that with John Wick, have him fire multiple shots. Don't say, hey, one shot and then he takes off, because then it's like, why would he stop at all? Why would he not just keep running? And because in that same shop, there were tons of different types of weapons. There were axes, there were knives, there were swords. Why would he mess with the gun at all? Yeah, and it's worth it, but what I'm saying is, one shot, like 3 minutes wasted, and there's multiple rounds there of that caliber. Grab, fill the entire cylinder, even if you're only going to have 6 shots, and turn it into a thing where people can see how fast John Wick can shoot from the hip. You see what I'm saying? How it was wasted? But the problem with that is when you have directors that have minimal writing experience, or they haven't gone to school for writing and they're not taught that type of stuff, they'll do stupid shit. Like they'll put in a scene that makes no sense like that. Or a scene that would make sense if they added more to it. And you see that sometimes. You see it in movies, especially with the shit movies that they have nowadays. You'll see a lot of this stuff. Wasted opportunities. That could have been great, but it makes no sense. Hold on, let me see. Which Max Payne game? Give me a second. Oh, yeah, Max Payne 3. I played through about half of it. I haven't finished it yet. I think that story is actually pretty solid. But, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. The way all of the sacrifice doesn't really mean much is just kind of like, what the hell? But that's very much in tune with the way a Greek tragedy is. Now, a lot of people, and keep in mind, back in ancient Greece, there were only 2 types of stories. There were Greek tragedies and there were comedies. There wasn't anything else. So some of these stories, when they're like that, when the hero doesn't really win, I get it and I respect that.
I already died once today.
Stay right there.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me see. The thing I didn't understand about the John Wick thing is that the Kimber Custom 2 1911 or the Kimber 1911 that they're talking about, I mean, only they do have 7-round capacities in some of those mags, but that's a single stack. Kimber makes a stagger stack is what it's called, and it can hold 12 rounds. I know because the LAPD uses it, because they prefer the 1911, because the 45 caliber round, what the 45 caliber round does is when it hits someone, it usually doesn't go through them. So it allows them to limit any potential, unintended targets, basically collateral damage. So you'll have the police are shooting at a bad guy who happens to be in a crowd of people, and the rounds hit the bad guy. But even if the bad guy is standing in front of like a little girl, there's an extremely good chance that the rounds will not go through him and hit the little girl. That's how 45 ACP works. It's a heavy round. It loses tons of its inertia when it enters soft tissue, meaning someone's body. And that's why they prefer the 1911. But like I said, it's like, yeah, exactly. The 45 ACP, Navy SEALs use it, Delta Force uses it, because it's effective, because it stops people quick, but it doesn't go through them and hit unintended targets. Now, I know SF started, or Delta Force really started using the 45 round back in the late 70s, whenever they first got started. And the... Give me a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know a hell of a lot about guns. I researched them when I was in the Army. I was researching them. I was researching them whenever I was writing my novel. You know, because you want to know about different calibers, what they can do. Because you'll have, you know, you'll have some people that write this type of shit. Yeah, the limit 2 mags with 7 rounds. Yeah, Jesus, that pisses me off that every time, because my controller is basically the speaker for the police, and it's like I don't need to hear the police fucking radio. I can see them in my rearview mirror, especially when driving this shit fucking Range Rover. Absolute dog shit garbage. I really need to steal a faster car, but I don't have time. I'll just have to outrun these guys. Yeah, well, the reason why a lot of them are single stack is because it's just easier for the manufacturer to put single stack with them. And to be honest, most people don't give a shit. They're like, oh, I'll just buy 1911 for the, I'll buy 1911 for like the stopping power, but if I want 15 rounds, I'll buy a 9mm. And it's like, you don't really have to do that. You could buy a 45 that, there are some 45 caliber pistols out there that will legitimately have like 15 rounds in a magazine. You just gotta look for them. Jeez, that's so fucking annoying. Yeah, the speaker...
Suspect northbound in a black sports utility vehicle.
Jesus. Police officer operator, get your shit together. She doesn't even know what vehicle I'm driving. Like, you got 60 cops, why don't you just call one of them up and ask them, hey, what vehicle are you chasing? See if I can escape this way. Nope, of course not, because it's a fucking Range Rover. Get out of the fucking car. Of course, I'm upside down, cops are about to be on me. Oh, Jesus, come on, you fucking fat-ass pork chop, run up that fucking hill. God, this guy runs fucking slow as hell.
Suspect last seen north of
That'll work.
CNT building.
Yeah, I know about the 1911. That's what he was given. Jesus, cops are like on the fucking Matrix. They're coming out of nowhere. You know what? It's like, I live in a city with 500,000 people. Motherfuckers could rob a bank around here. It'll take the cops 10 minutes to show up. Around here, he's running just for breaking out of a morgue, and there's like 50 fucking cops all wearing the Agent Smith outfit chasing him. It's ridiculous. So, with John Wick, right? He's Russian. They were going to write him as Russian, right? But they said, oh, the martial arts he uses are judo and jiu-jitsu, right? Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Because he does a lot of kicking and punching, and I'm like, let me look this shit up. And what I discovered is that there's not kicking in judo or jiu-jitsu. There's just not. There's throws and joint locks and holds and ground submissions and stuff, but there's no kicking. And I'm like, but the creator said that's what the martial art was he's using, right? Hold on a second.
Hey, Mike.
F. Hey, we need to talk. Quick, meet me at those oil derricks just outside town.
All right, he gets the idea. Anyways, now this kind of, oh god, another fucking phone call.
Dave.
Okay, he gets the idea too. Anyways, there's a martial art called Samba. Now, combat Samba is basically it uses a lot of striking, punches, Muay Thai, shit like that. And it also uses wrestling and jiu-jitsu moves. Samba is Russian. Combat Samba is what they teach the military and special forces. And it's extremely similar to American MMA. Now, what he was using could be construed as MMA, so it would make more sense because John Wick was Russian to say he learned a Russian martial art named Samba. But again, the people that put the John Wick series together were not as... Apparently they weren't as educated on martial arts as most other people that I've heard of martial arts, which is unfortunate. You know, it's just, it's one of those details that you're like, well, that would have been a nice nod to a martial art that, you know, isn't fully mainstream yet. But no, they're like, no, judo and jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, this isn't the 70s. No one does judo anymore, you know. Yeah, I get that he's a fictional creation. But again, if you're going to make him Russian, and all these Russian guys are doing this type of stuff, they don't wrestle and they don't do judo and jiu-jitsu in Russia. They do Samba. That's what they do. You know, I did a lot of research into it, again, when I was writing my novel way back in the day. And Samba is their grappling art. Combat Samba is their grappling art with boxing and Muay Thai and karate elements mixed in. So again, I mean, if you're nodding to John Wick and, oh, he's Russian and all this, put that stuff in there. Don't leave it out and say, oh, he's learning Japanese martial arts even though he's Russian. Which fucking sense does that make? It's just, again, from a writer's perspective, it's just one of those things I really nitpicked about. And I was like, oh, that bothers me so fucking much. You know?
Hey, Franklin. What's going on? You gotta get out of town. Man, I ain't exactly got nowhere to go. Well, then take a trip. A long trip. What the fuck is going on? Things, all right? Look, you remember I told you I know people? Feds who looked after me.
And, you know, like I said, with John Wick 3, I mean, there's probably 100 different things I could, you know, talk about. It's just, it's crazy. Yeah, I know suspend disbelief, but they're trying to make it as realistic as possible with John Wick. And, you know, I'm cool with them like, oh, this is what we wanted to do for our story. And I'm like, I mean, I guess that's fine, but again, it's from a writer's perspective. It's like a military veteran who's watching a war movie, and before you join the military and learn all of this stuff, you watch it and you're completely entertained and you're like, wow, those guys really know their shit. But then a military veteran sits down and within 15 seconds of the scene starting, he's like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. We wouldn't do it like this, we do it like that. Yeah, it bugs me. It bugs me, you know. When I wrote my novel, you know, I actually had 15 rewrites that were done throughout the years because there was stuff like that I didn't like about it, you know, and I said, well, these characters, if they're fist fighting, they would probably do this, but not that, because this would make sense, but that wouldn't. You get what I'm saying? You see some of that stuff in John Wick. Like, John Wick 3, the biggest problem I have, and I mean, I know I get it, suspend disbelief, but it's like this. So John Wick 3 in 1 and 2 is wanting to burn the entire establishment down, essentially for killing his dog and then blowing up his house. But, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Little attention to detail, stuff like that. You know, it's like John Wick 1 and 2, he's willing to destroy the entire fucking world. But John Wick 3, he kind of seems lost. And at first he's wanting to fight with them, and then he's wanting to beg them for mercy. And then he's like, here, let me cut off my ring. You know, let me cut off my ring finger and give you the ring that my wife gave me. And it's like, John Wick, why the fuck would you do that? If you were willing to completely throw caution to the wind and take on an entire mafia syndicate in New York City, and you were willing to do that, not for your wife, but for the dog that your wife bought you after she passed, why the fuck are you going to go to the elder in the desert and chop off your finger so you can never wear that ring again, and then give him the goddamn ring? Why? And then they're like, oh, well, you have to swear servitude to us, you know, and we'll lift everything. but you have to go kill this guy, right? And then John Wick's like, yeah, I'll do it. Here, take the wedding ring that my wife gave me. Here you go. I just cut off my finger so I can never wear it again. And then he goes to New York and he's like, you know what? I think I'm going to change my mind. And Winston's like, yeah, you know what? I want to change my mind too. I don't want to kill you. And then they're on the rooftop after everything. And Winston's like, no, you know what? I think I'm going to kill you anyway. And it's just flopping back and forth. And it's like, don't do that shit. It's like, don't do that shit, because then the whole story feels like a fucking mess. You know, all of us know that one person in life that just can't get their shit together, and they flip-flop and they go back and forth. And you got someone, yeah, there you go. The writers were more interested in action than continuity. And it's like, you have that one person that's like, oh, I'm going to join the Marines. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to, you know, they go and they talk to the recruiter. They might wash out of Marine Corps boot camp, you know, or just say, hey, you know what, failure to adapt. I just don't want to do this shit. And they chapter them out. And then they come back and they go to school for HVAC, you know, HVAC. And they're like, oh, I want to do this, you know, I want to basically, you know, be my own boss. And they drop out of the training because they're just like, oh, it's not for me. And then they're like, I'm going to go and I'm going to go to school to learn how to be a mechanic on diesel engines. And they drop out after a couple weeks, and they're just all over the fucking place. And then they're like, you know what, I think I'm going to join, I'm going to try to go back into the Marine Corps. And you're like, motherfucker, why did you just not stay in the goddamn Marine Corps rather than dropping out, you know, or HVAC? You know, they're like, you know what, I tried the diesel mechanic thing and I want to go back into HVAC training. And you're like, why did you just not stick with it and complete the training? Yeah, you know that asshole, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, why did you not just complete that fucking training and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to try this for a while, 6 months. And if I don't like it, I'll go into something else, but I'm going to give it a try. Nope. You got those people that are all over the fucking place. Those types of people are the same types of motherfuckers that wrote the script for John Wick 3. It's all over the goddamn place. And you're like, okay, first of all, you're willing to go to war with the world because the dog that your wife bought you got killed. And then you're willing to kill a member of the High Table because he blew up your fucking house. And he put a price on your head because he basically, he required you to kill his sister, and then he puts a price on your head after you kill his sister. And he's going to hang out in the Continental for the rest of his fucking life while this price is on your head. It's like, John Wick, if you have all this fucking, if you have all this experience and all these jobs under your belt, why the fuck would you just not pay off the fucking bounty on your head and say, hey, you know what, because it's like he's having to pay out of pocket and be like, hey, you know what, you know, I mean, it's like if he's already willing to hand over the ring on his finger that his wife bought him, he's obviously, he would have been willing to say, you know what, to, you know, Santino D'Antonio, you know what, you got a price on my head of $7 million? Here's $8 million in cash. Wipe the bounty off of me. And he would have been like, fuck it, all right. You know, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not coming after you. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to disappear. Nope. He kills him. He has a fucking, you know, that snarl, that fucking, oh, I'm so fucking mad at you. And then in part 3, please have mercy on me. Motherfucker, how does that make sense? You know? And then when he's fighting the two Indonesian martial art experts that are using Silat, by the way, I know at least one of those guys was in the Raid Redemption. You want to check it out, definitely check it out. It's a badass action movie. But the two small guys, they were fighting John Wick at the end, they were whooping his ass. He just looks so tired and so unable to really stand toe-to-toe with them. And it's like, why do that? Because even in part 2, when he was bloody and when they ran him ragged and when he was wounded, he's still whooping that fucking ass like they stole money from him. And it's like, you're going to have these two little guys that are like maybe fucking, you know, you stand one on top of the shoulders of the other and maybe they're 9 feet tall. And they're whooping his ass. And it's like, don't do that shit. You know, it's like, if you're making John Wick out to be this bad motherfucker, keep him at that level. Don't say, oh, he's tired. Or, oh, he's been out of this for 5 years. Yeah, he was out of it for 5 years in John Wick 1 and 2, and he was still beating the fucking dog shit out of people. Don't have it to where these two little fucking ninja midget guys are beating the hell out of him. Don't do that shit, because then it makes John Wick look like he's pathetic. And the whole John Wick 3 made him look like he was pathetic. You know? It made him look like he just wasn't capable. And it's like, look, I get it. You know, you want to do this, you want to do that, but it's like, keep it consistent. Keep it consistent. You know, make John Wick fight those two guys and really go all out. And I'm not dissing the Indonesian dudes. Like I said, watch the Raid Redemption. The one of those guys was the Mad Dog guy that the good guy and his brother had to fight in the Raid Redemption. That little short motherfucker is a badass.
Oh, isn't this nice?
And if John Wick was fighting like he was in John Wick 1, if he was fighting those two guys, the fight scene would have been so much better. But again, it's lazy writing, it's lazy choreography, you know. And I'm not saying that they didn't do a great job. They did a good job. But it could have been so much better. It's kind of like this. If you have a chance between winning $1 million or winning $1 billion, they're like, oh, you're complaining because you only won $1 million? And it's like, you know, I'm grateful for the million, but which is better, $1 million or $1 billion? A fucking $1 billion is better. It's a no-brainer, right? So it's like, it just felt like with John Wick 3, there were so many missteps. And then within like the first 15 minutes of John Wick 4, he goes and finds the Elder and caps the motherfucker. Why didn't you do that in part 3 when you were face to face? You know? Why did you go out there to the desert and basically drop your fucking drawers and let the guy have his way with you? Why the fuck did you do that? If you're going to go in John Wick 4 and go kill the motherfucker. Because you knew, it's like you knew, John Wick, if you didn't kill Winston like he asked, you knew that they were going to send everybody they had after you, that they were going to try to kill you. You knew this. It just, again, I apologize for the rant. If you like John Wick 3, that's completely cool. But I went to school for writing, and a big part of that was screenwriting. And you look at each brand by the feel that they're trying to establish, and you judge it on those merits. What I mean by that is I don't look at Tom Cruise's character in Collateral and say he should have been like John Wick flipping around and shit. I don't say that because they establish in the movie Collateral how Tom Cruise's character is supposed to act, how he fights, his way of dealing with issues, all of that, and you judge it on that. John Wick 3 isn't judged based on principles of another movie. I'm not saying, hey, I expect him to be like Neo in The Matrix. I expect him to be like Jason Statham's character in Transporter. John Wick 3, the character in John Wick 3, John Wick, is judged on how he was in John Wick 1 and 2. Because John Wick 1 and 2 established how he fought, how he acted, how he thought, his mannerisms, his motivations, and that is what the criticism is based on, if that makes sense. That's why a lot of times if you have a single movie, it's harder to judge it, because in order to judge a character like that, you have to see if they're consistent. And within one movie, you know, you're talking 90 minutes to 2 hours. For people that don't know, the way a screenplay works is one... Oh, God damn it, I gotta call another person.
Michael,
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Okay, anyways. So the way it works with screenplays...
I thought you might say that.
Yeah, you completely get where I'm coming from. 1 page in a screenplay equals 1 minute of screen time. So a lot of times, they're very limited in one movie how much they can do with a character. And that's why you might have a character change their attitude, but that doesn't mean that they're negating... the attitude they've had up until that point. Because a lot of times you'll see characters go through change within a story just because that's their character arc in that specific story in that one movie. But when you have John Wick 2, John Wick 1, John Wick 2, and he's been going to war with everybody, but then he immediately betrays himself because he's like, please don't kill me, I'll do whatever you want, I'll give you the ring my wife gave me. Again, it completely disrupts the flow and the mannerisms established thus far for that character. And it's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but again, you know, being a writer, I nitpick shit. And so I'm kind of like, what the fuck, you know? I still haven't seen part 4. I did buy it, but I haven't seen it. I was going to watch it with the missus, so I'll let you know what I think of it, you know, when we finish watching it.
You know what? You better keep a low profile.
Yeah, I think I will. See you later. Who's that cagey motherfucker, huh? No, it's another cagey motherfucker, all right? Not you.
Hey, T, enough with the faux political bullshit. Franklin, come on, you better take off. Really.
Shit, I'm good. I ain't bailing.
Whoa. What, am I detecting some sort of, son I never had bullshit here, Mikey, huh? Hey, listen. If you want to replace some father figure, you can do a lot better than this fat snake, all right? This fucker would eat his own kids.
Like I said, Franklin, deranged.
Yeah, and best friend.
Exactly. That's Trevor, my best friend. That's Franklin, the son I always wanted. All right, guys, listen, this is the shot. I'm gonna do all the heavy lifting on this job, okay? Trevor, all I need you to do is fly me to the target. Franklin, you're gonna cover me from across the street.
Alright, that's cool.
We're gonna make these assholes happy.
Thanks for stopping in, Darth Praxis. I really appreciate it, man.
Got it?
I got you.
All right. And we do
Yeah,
this.
Gogol.
Yeah.
John Wick 3 isn't as good. There's tons of fighting in it, but it's just John Wick 1 and 2 are obviously, in my opinion, the best 2 that I've seen thus far. I haven't seen John Wick 4, so I can't really critique it. But part 3 was a moderate letdown, just because there were so many missteps, I guess, you know.
Alright, let's do this thing.
We need to go to the agency headquarters downtown. Your new friends are a riot. No wonder you said sayonara to the old crew. Walking away ain't easy, Trev. Sometimes I guess you gotta make compromises. What happened to dying with a gun in your hand? Life happened. Annoying wife, 2 kids. Remember them? You get tied down, you can't move anymore. What about your ties to me? To Brad? Those ties are why you got roped in on this FIB instigated suicide pact. For as long as it keeps me amused, I am. I ain't exactly sure it's gonna be amusing.
Yeah, I actually bought Hitman 3. I pre-ordered it. It was the best, in my opinion, out of the new games. So, I mean, if you haven't picked up the new one, I definitely recommend picking it up. But if you have, obviously, you know what I'm talking about. Hitman 1 was okay, Hitman 2 was alright. But like I said, Hitman 3 was really good, so definitely a good game in my opinion.
We're too far from the wall.
You fuck around while I'm out there. I'll climb back up this rope and strangle you with it. Yeah.
Hey, we're looking good.
Next, I'll have this thing so far up your ass, your tonsils will be playing shadow puppets. You think we can't do that? We can. It's in our guidelines.
I don't know what you're talking about. I installed cinema equipment, not surveillance.
Grab his other arm.
No.
You think you're impenetrable? See how you feel with this is 18 inches deep inside. Get the lube. Who the fuck is this? Terminate him! Close this problem right now!
Yeah, I can use a little backup here.
Get me the station chief!
36 flow. Got it.
Don't harm the asset. There's another shooter!
Hey, what's going on here?
No.
Come on, get off me!
What's happening?
Shit!
Don't shoot me!
Room's clear, T! Hit the wick! Get us out!
Cut him down, people! Help! Shooters across the street! Don't drop me! Don't drop me!
Hey, we need to be clear of this building! The guy's shooting at at you, Mikey. That's unfinished business. Clean it up, we'll move on. You damn softy.
You're gonna get us killed, you know that?
Oh, it ain't me trying to shoot you, Mikey.
That's it. Get us out of here.
Roger that. Whoa! Looks like we're attracting the attention of their air unit. You got a bogey coming at you, Franklin.
Shit!
You're in breach of the U.S. Constitution. Lethal force will be utilized.
I ain't gonna miss his ass. Hey, the chopper's down, homie.
Good work. Land immediately or your aircraft will be forcibly grounded. I don't want to disturb you, Mike, but you might want to do something about the choppers before we're blown out of the sky. Just saying.
Oh, shit! Shit!
That was definitely not my fault. I went to turn and it wouldn't let me turn.
I got one.
I'm slipping! I swear to God!
You're good. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Last one. With these. We ain't going nowhere. All clear. Set us down at that lot. Roger that, Commander. Come in, Franklin. This might be the time to make your exit. We'll talk soon.
Who are you people?
That doesn't matter.
They said they were government. I do home theater. I'm not a...
I don't care who you are.
Then why are you doing this to me?
Hey, hold tight. I got some friends with the Bureau. They'll explain everything.
You saved me. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
The Bureau. The FIB. They will make everything okay.
I'm sure. Don't worry. They'll look after you.
The things those people did to me. I'm an American citizen.
Yeah, well, that don't seem to matter too much. Put her down in the lot, Trevor.
Let's go. Where are we? You go easy on it. Thank you. Oh my, you saved me. Hey, hey. No, huh? No, 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 no.
Hey, hey, I said easy. Oh, come on, give the guy a break. I'm gonna get out of this shit.
Ha ha! In bed with the Bureau and a new running buddy.
Yeah, he's more of a protege.
Yeah, what, you gonna teach him to be old before his time?
Yeah, to never grow up.
That seems like a good kid. Michael, look at this, huh? New city, new set of problems, but the idiots, they stay the same.
Yep, I guess. All right, Trevor, I'll see you later.
Oh, you better believe it, buddy.
I do want to say thanks so much for checking out today's live stream. I greatly appreciate it. If you did enjoy this live stream, obviously hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed to Sergeant Sentinel Gaming, because it's not just live streams that I do. I do have a number of podcasts that I did. I have some real life issues that I'm working out, and when I figure those out, I'll come back to podcasting. I also have a number of video game reviews and news videos, so definitely check those out as well. This is SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel. Thank you so much for everyone who came out. Take it easy, gamers.